was as beautiful as a summer rose, but her heart was as sharp as its thorns. She spent her days in the grand palace of Ethelgard, gazing into silver mirrors and telling anyone who would listen that she was far too grand for such a dusty, common world. She lived in a world of silk and gold, never once thinking of those who lived outside her walls. One morning, a small, weary traveler named Oros entered the royal gardens. He was a magical dwarf carrying a heavy, bulging sack of enchanted soil meant for the palace's golden lilies. He was tired from his long journey, his boots covered in the dust of 100 roads. He tripped over a stray stone and tumbled onto the marble path, his belongings spilling everywhere. Alara happened to be walking by and let out a cold, mocking laugh. "Look at you, little pebble," she sneered, pointing a gloved finger at the fallen traveler. "You are as clumsy as you are ugly. Get out of my sight before your dusty rags ruin the view of my garden." She didn't offer a hand. She only offered her scorn. Oros stood up slowly, but he did not look angry. Instead, his eyes began to glow with the soft, shimmering light of deep-sea pearls. "True beauty is a treasure found deep within," he whispered, his voice echoing like the tide. "Since you love the surface so much, princess, perhaps you should learn what lies beneath it." The sudden flash of salt and sea foam, Alara was swept away from the garden. When she finally opened her eyes, the sunlit sky was gone. She was deep under the waves, and where her legs had once been, there was now a long, shimmering tail the color of sapphires. The weight of her crown was gone, replaced by the weight of the ocean. Alara tried to scream for help, but only a stream of tiny bubbles escaped her lips. She felt small and alone in the vast blue silence. Suddenly, a kind mermaid named Melusine swam out from behind a forest of giant swaying kelp. Melusine wore a crown of glowing sea anemones, and her presence made the dark, cold water feel safe and warm. "You look quite lost, little one," Melusine said, her voice a soothing melody. Alara tried to demand to be taken home, but Melusine only laughed softly. "In the ocean, we are all sisters of the tide. We help one another here because the currents are too strong to swim alone. Come, let me show you the secrets of the reef." As they traveled, they found a great sea turtle caught in a thick, heavy net of old rope. The creature was tired and frightened, its flippers tangled tight against the jagged rocks. Usually, Alara would have looked away from something so messy, but seeing the turtle's sad, pleading eyes, she felt a strange, new tug in her chest. Alara worked for hours, her hands growing tired as she carefully untangled each knot and cut through the heavy ropes. Melusine watched with a proud smile as the princess finally freed the turtle. The grateful creature nudged Alara's hand gently before swimming away into the deep blue. "I helped him," Alara whispered, feeling a warmth in her heart she had never known. In that moment of true kindness, the water began to swirl into a bright vortex. Alara found herself back in the garden, standing before Oros. She did not shout or sneer. Instead, she knelt in the dust and helped him gather his enchanted soil. "Forgive me," she said softly. The princess of the tides had finally brought her heart back to shore.